Number 8 is quietly making NFL history, Bobby. There's been some tweets about it, but I haven't heard a lot of talk about it nationally. What are we talking about? Yes, he had another 4-touchdown game, which I believe is the most of any quarterback. But something bigger than that, Lamar Jackson is currently, just think about this, given where we were from the draft and what people were saying about Lamar Jackson. He currently has the highest, number one, at the top of the mountain. Nobody is higher, the highest career passing rating in NFL history. Bobby, he edged out Aaron Rodgers, who has a 102.60 career passer rating. Lamar Jackson has a 102.65 career passer rating. This man, who everybody called a running back, this man who former NFL GM said that he should switch positions and become a wide receiver at the combine, this man is number one in NFL history in career passing rating. Bobby, the formula to come up with that passer rating can be sometimes very confusing and perplexing and all of that. But this I can tell you. To have a high career passer rating does not include what he does with his legs. That stat belongs to QBR. The QBR pulls in what a quarterback does both with his arm and legs. The passer rating is his arm only. But having said that, even though he is the highest in career passer rating, he also has the most career quarterback rushing yards in NFL history. And Bobby, it's not even close. He's like well over 400 more than Michael Vick. Michael Vick's retired. Lamar's just going to keep going. What we are witnessing, and we let sometimes the playoff stuff get in the way of it, but his career isn't over. What we are witnessing is greatness. It's right in front of our eyes. And he's playing here with us. It's in Baltimore. We have to enjoy this, soak it up. Don't let anybody steal your joy by pointing to the playoffs, because he's going to get over the hump eventually. But right now, we are in a golden era with Lamar Jackson with the Baltimore Ravens. He does it both with his arm and his legs. Greatest dual threat ever. If he gets the Super Bowl, he'll be just one of the greatest ever, period. But I want to hear more people in national media talking about this, because this is a big deal. We are witnessing greatness.
Well said. The stat line from yesterday, by the way, 19 of 29, 225 yards, 4 touchdowns, no picks. He was sacked 3 times. You mentioned the QBR versus passer rating. The QBR was 70.5. Passer rating, 128.6. This was a day, Sarah, where early on, Lamar was off. There were errant throws. There were overthrows. He did not look particularly comfortable in the pocket. Maybe that was because he kept getting flushed out of the pocket because of this stellar defensive front led by Myles Garrett. But for him to finish with a passer rating of 128.6, where he was clearly not himself early on, it speaks to the way that he can in-game adjust, the way that he has developed as a quarterback in Baltimore within this system with Todd Monken. And look at the table this guy is sitting at, not just sitting at, but commanding at the top. He's got like the best part of the table, maybe, or the best dishes in front of him at the table. What a
the head of the table.
A Venn diagram, perhaps?
Yes, it is a Venn diagram, and it's from MGM Bet. They put it together. And sorry, I don't want to cut you off. You can go ahead and continue to explain it.
Oh, no. Somewhere in my elementary schools in upstate New York, my teachers are like, wow, he actually got that recall. Wow, what a shock that was that he actually knew what a Venn diagram was. Go ahead and tell us what it's all about.
Yeah, no, so the Bet MGM or MGM Bet, sorry, I don't know which one it is. Not a big gambler, as we know. But they put the top 10 quarterbacks in passer rating since 2019. I don't know why not ever, but they put 2019 on the left. And then they've got the top 10 in rushing yards on the right. And look at the company he has on the left with some of these quarterbacks. You've got Joe Burrow in there. You've got Kirk Cousins. You've got Patrick Mahomes. You've got Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, Dak Prescott. I mean, the list goes on and on. Some new up-and-comer with Jaden Daniels. Okay, so he's in the top 10 passer rating with all of those guys.
Yeah.
And then look on the right where he's got all these running backs, Derrick Henry included, Saquon Barkley. I mean, you could just go on and on and on. Is Gibbs in here? I mean, it just keeps going on. And it's like, you got all the best running backs in the league to his right. You got all the best quarterbacks in terms of passing to his left. And he's in the circle with both of them. It's really unreal. And people are going to be watching his highlights for years and years to come once he does finally retire, which hopefully it's not for another 10 or more years. And just going to be like, look at who this dude was, and look at the company he had on both his left and the right with quarterbacks and running backs.
Yeah. Oh man. You could just keep this conversation moving too, right? Because while it's like, you're right, not enough people are talking about it, but some are. And NFL on CBS, Cord McGinnis, two of those accounts that are, Sarah, acknowledging, right, this greatness personified here. How about the play action percentage? Up, big uptick from week 1 to week 2, 18.2% in Buffalo. That was up to 33.3% against the Browns. And what Lamar has done on play action this season, pretty darn productive. 12 of 13, 187 yards, 4 touchdowns, no picks. You've already mentioned the top tweet, right? He's currently the all-time leader in NFL history in passer rating. He's got the most rushing yards in history for a quarterback. We know that he obviously passed, as you alluded to, the Michael Vick record last year. And let's go more into the data. Next Gen Stats tracked all 4 of Lamar's touchdown passes. They targeted a receiver over 10 yards downfield. Since the start of 24, Lamar has thrown 32 touchdown passes over 10 air yards. That's 10 more than the next closest QB, and it's about one that we just discussed earlier on in the show. Joe Burrow has got 22. You look at the passing chart right there. He spreads this thing out. He is the John Stockton of the National Football League, Sarah, and you have to be when you have this many weapons that you have to feed and that you have to keep pleased. That's Todd Monken's job. That's Lamar Jackson's job. Let's go deeper on those 10-plus yard throws against Cleveland specifically. PFF took a look. 8 of 13, 153 passing yards. This is precision, man. This is surgical. 4 touchdowns, no picks, a passer rating of 142. And again, this is a perfect passer rating with the issues that he had early on in the same game. And knowing that the ground game was not something that he had at his disposal yesterday just makes this game from a passing standpoint that much better. Because, Sarah, they sold out to stop the run. They dared Lamar and Todd Monken to beat them through the air, and the Ravens responded.
Well, and that's why they used the play auction so much, is they were selling out to stop Derrick Henry. That's a fine game plan. But what you forgot is Lamar can throw like this. Lamar can throw like this, 142 passer rating on passes of 10 yards or more down the field. We're not talking about checkdowns. We're not talking about dink and dunk kind of offense. This is crazy talk. 4 touchdowns to 0 interceptions and 142 passer rating on that. That's crazy. And so that's why it was funny to me, Bobby, and I don't even care. I'm just living in this. But I noticed that the Bills fans showed up again somehow. And I think it was because Josh Allen didn't have the most statistically exciting game yesterday, although they got their win, of course. But one of these Bills fans retweets one of Lamar's plays and says, LOL, is Lamar Jackson in late in the 4th, up by 24 and still throwing? Interesting. So I don't know if you guys follow. He's kind of fun. Jackson Muse, there's an account that just is pretty much all Lamar all the time. And he retweets it and says, well, let's see here. Ravens play conservative with the lead last week and blow a 15-point lead under 5 minutes, mind you. And people say Lamar's a choke artist. Okay, let's fast forward it to week 2. Ravens play aggressive and make sure the game is over. And now people are saying Lamar's a stat patter. Lamar can't win with the haters. And listen, you tell me, is touchdowns that are all 10 yards or more, is that stat padding? Because to me, stat padding is when you have to rush it in from the 1. Okay. Stat padding is when you're making easy throws, easy runs when it's set up by somebody else. You better believe the Ravens can and will from now on. At least they better. Don't make me look bad, Todd Monken and John Harbaugh. You better continue this trend where you keep the foot on the gas. You keep the proverbial, well, I just knocked down my light again from banging over here. You keep the foot on the proverbial jugular. You keep doing that because as we discussed, once you start to like a body in motion stays in motion, a body that slows down and stops, it's harder to get it going. The Ravens play better when they are aggressive. And if it's going to make people like Bills fans or maybe Browns fans or whoever else upset, we're going to live in that world, because we cannot live in a world where they give up double-digit leads anymore. We're done with that. These are high degree difficulty passes that he is completing, and he is hitting his receivers in the perfect spot where it has to be. Call it stat padding. I don't care. The Ravens are going to finish and keep the foot on the pedal.
One stat padding opportunity that Lamar had, Sarah, that would have been easy money that comes to mind from yesterday's game is the 4th and 2 to Devontae Walker. I mean, there was a clear lane given Lamar's elusiveness and speed and vision. He could have taken that right into the end zone, but instead he fires one to Devontae Walker in the back of the end zone. 4th and 2. Great decision there. Great aggressiveness by John Harbaugh. And so, I mean, there's so many different ways, especially last year, Sarah, where Lamar takes the whole stat padding opportunity or stat padding conversation and says, up yours. I'm playing team-friendly football. I'm playing what makes most sense any given play. And here you have it, in the spirit of tallying up through 2 weeks, as the 33rd team did. Here it is. They call it an annual recurring tweet. Lamar looks like an MVP candidate again this year. He's got 7 touchdowns through 2 weeks, Sarah. No turnovers, 9 yards per attempt, an EPA per dropback of 0.35, which measures efficiency and overall performance, a rating, meaning a passer rating of 136.6, and a completion percentage of 68.8. So 2 weeks in, great start for Lamar, great start for the Ravens. And as you put it best, I think, off the top, make sure you appreciate the moment that we're being witness to right now, because Lamar is on a historic run, and it's only year 8, and he ain't even 30 yet.
And let's appreciate this day a little bit more, Bobby. Just look at these. Look at these precision throws. This one is the let me see if I can look at this here. This one is the quarter 2, 4th, and this is 2 and 1 in quarter 2. This is after Tylan Wallace just recovered a fumble by Derrick Henry. And it was after the blocked punt. And that's really, we got to give it up to Jake Kummel and the special teams for getting things going. But Lamar fakes again the play action. We saw that it was 33%. Fakes the play action. Everybody bites to Derrick Henry. Great play called, Todd Monken. You knew they were selling out. Let's use it against them. So they all go after Derrick. Here's Lamar with pressure in his face. Number 57, not a small dude, not a short dude. His hands are up. Lamar lays it still perfectly in the breadbasket for Tylan Wallace. Let's go to quarter 3 with 13:43 left. This is 2nd and 6. This is the first one to DeAndre Hopkins, where both Lamar Jackson and DeAndre looks sensational. Lamar starts to feel the pressure from whom? Myles Garrett, bull rushing Ronnie Stanley. He regains his ground a little bit, but he gets help from Lamar. Lamar goes back to the other side on the run, throws on the run, a beautiful pass in the absolute breadbasket, and DeAndre Hopkins, as we know, does the rest. How about in quarter 3 on 4 and 2? The Ravens need a score here, or it's a turnover on downs. Here he does find Devontae Walker this time. Let's go.
That's the one that I was referencing where he could have just ran it in, right?
Yeah, let's look back. I think it looks better from the other angle where he could have, but yeah, look at that lane right there. Now, could they have closed? There's number 9 and 49. Could they have closed? Maybe. Yeah. But I also wouldn't bet that Lamar couldn't get in.
Especially with momentum carrying him through. But absolute right decision. Yeah. Why put your body on the line? Devontae is right there. He's streaking in the back of the end zone, fires a strike, bang, 4th and 2, you cash in.
Boom, boom. Yes. How about this one with Zay Flowers? This one's not a touchdown. This one, the Ravens have to have it's 3rd and 13. And the Ravens do not want to give up the ball here. Look at Lamar and his scrambling ability yet again as things are breaking down. And so he steps up in the pocket. Again, pressure on him. He gives a slight stiff arm. 96 still has his arms on his waist. Then he's on his knees. Lamar launches it. It's a little short because he's got 96 all over him. How he even got that throw off, I don't know. And Zay comes streaking back for his quarterback with a diving catch. Absolutely phenomenal. I love it when his playmakers make a play for him too. Lamar's working hard. You guys work hard. And that's when magic happens. How about this on 2nd and 14 in the fourth quarter? He's going to Devontae Walker again. He's actually got protection this time. Just beautiful. Those two just made it look easy with that speed. And then finally, here's the final one in quarter 4, 4:48 left. This is when everybody's like, oh, you're running up the score. Dang right we are. Here we go. Lamar Jackson, 2nd and 10, to Hopkins in the breadbasket yet again. DeAndre stands up with the shrugging shoulders. Absolute clinic, Lamar Jackson in that second half.
I got to run one back just because this play right here. Are you serious? I mean, come on. We got to watch this again. This is absurd. All right. It's a classic ragdoll scenario yet again for an opposing team's defensive lineman. And I honestly don't know what I'm more impressed with here. Lamar's ability to extend the play and fire a strike, or Zay as he's running literally in straight up improvisation mode, finding a way to corral this laser beam that comes in from Lamar, Sarah, and keep it from touching the turf. This is exceptional backyard stuff right here. This thing's going to play on a loop, matter of fact. Look at this right here. Are you kidding me? This is a 300-plus pound defensive lineman barreling down. It reminds you of Sam Hubbard, Sarah, last year. This is big-time stuff right here. This is one-of-one stuff. Somehow buys himself a half second, not even a half second, and fires a dot to Zay Flowers. Zay is diving. He somehow finds a way to corral that football. These two are an incredible duo. It's so much fun to watch. Lamar's stiff arm is one thing. The ability to extend the play is another. And then the other play, the fact that he can find a way to somehow laser beam this thing into Zay. They're just, this duo's got to start to be talked about more in terms of, and there's the still shot right there. But the duo's got to be talked about more, I think. They're absolutely a top 10 wide receiver quarterback duo, and I think the NFL probably will figure that out at some point in the next couple months.